Hey guys, Aaron here with another fountain pen review. And today I was wanting to review the fountain pen that you see in front of you, but also kind of show some things that I just got in the mail actually yesterday. I didn't have a chance to unbox them until today. It's at the time I'm recording this video, it's a Thursday, and I had ordered this pen from Birmingham Pen Company. This is the first order that I've ever placed with Birmingham, and I was actually, I had been really wanting to try out a couple of their pens. I know Chris Wrap 52 has had a few reviews of their Knox pens, as well as their inks. He's used several of their inks in a few of his videos, as well as I know Larry, the pen bug guy, has used some of their pens, and Troy LaPlante as well has used some. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to do a review. And real quick, it's kind of neat. You get this little letter from Birmingham Pen Company that just is, somewhat personalized to you. And then at the bottom, Nick, the owner, writes his name down at the bottom. So that was kind of nice. Everything was packaged really nicely in the box. You also get this neat little paper clip made into a nib, which again, little touches like that are kind of neat. And the other really cool thing about it is I got 2 bottles of ink and this pen with a Knox nib in it for less than $40. And the ink, I think is I haven't used it yet, but I know a lot of people have given it good reviews. So I thought it would be kind of cool. The 2 inks that I got was this one here that you see. It is the Grandview Avenue Midnight Horizon. It's like a kind of a dark bluish ink. I thought it'd be kind of a neat one to try out. And another one that I'm pretty excited about is this Andy Warhol Pop Art Purple. And I'll probably actually use this, the purple in this pen here to try it out. I have not inked this pen up yet. But now the pen that you see in front of you. So this is a Knox pen. It's called the Knox Aristotle. This is the gunmetal finish. And I really, when I was looking at the pens on there, I really wanted to try out one of the Knox pens. And this one kind of spoke to me. I thought it was a nice kind of tapered design. And I liked the gunmetal finish on it. So I thought it'd be kind of neat to try out this pen. It is a metalled body. You'll notice that it has some Knox branding right here on the band here. You've got a cone-shaped cap finial up top. The clip is very springy. I wouldn't say it's loose, but I mean it's not a very tight clip. But I think for form and function, it'll work fine. Making your way down the cap, you see you've got a cap band here. Working your way down the barrel again, we saw this band here. Barrel tapers down towards the end, and then you have almost what looks kind of like a blind cap down here towards the end. So you have a black finial with another chrome band at the end of the barrel. As far as size of this pen, it's a little bit smaller than I originally thought it would be. But it's about 5.5 inches cap. So I don't know why. I think maybe the tapered design makes it feel like it's a little bit smaller. Plus, it is a pop-off cap. When you take the cap off, that section it's elongated, but obviously, as you can tell, it really tapers down and gets a lot smaller. But the good thing with an elongated section like that, you can hold it different places. Now, you do have a decent size step down, so if you're not someone that likes skinny sections and you're going to be tempted to hold it farther back, I wouldn't say it's discomforting necessarily, but I could see maybe for longer writing sessions, it could be a little bit discomforting. You're not worried about threads necessarily, but you do have a decent size step down. Now the cap does post, and it posts pretty securely. Well, maybe not. This is the first time I've even used this pen. It's not as secure as it seems. It does post, but it's definitely, you can kind of feel it moving around. So this is probably not a pen that I will post very often. A little bit disappointing. I thought it'd be a pen that you could post. You see it's got that plastic cap liner in there. Uncapped, the pen is just under 5 inches. So it's, usable if you have normal size hands. I definitely would say it's usable. Again, I mean, you could get that cap on there, but it's not going to post extremely securely. Now, one of the reasons why I got this pen was because you're getting a Knox nib, and I thought it'd be really cool to try out this nib. And in the letter from Nick, I mean, he says on here that prior to installing the German nib into your Aristotle, I gave it a quick floss and inspection. So I thought that was kind of cool. I know that that's something I've heard about him before, about his company, that he, inspects everything. He packages pretty much everything himself. So I think that's, again, another cool thing. So this nib, obviously it's a German nib. You see Knox, and then you can kind of see Germany down there below. You see your plastic feed on the back. And this nib is a oblique broad. I thought it'd be kind of cool to try out one of the broad nibs. I was not really getting this pen necessarily to be a daily writer. I was really just getting it to kind of have some fun with it, especially the nib. Just play around with it basically. Now, as far as the barrel comes off, and you've got your twist converter here. Not a super high quality converter, but I mean, it is a converter. It does the job. So we'll ink this bad boy up here in a moment and try it out. I know a lot of people have talked about that they think the Knox pens are basically Chinese pens that they've purchased, that they just put the Knox branding on them. And if so be it. I mean, I have several Jinhao pens that those were some of my first pens that I purchased, and I used them for a long time. And some of them I used the original Jinhao nibs, and then I would pop in maybe an occasional Goulet nib or a Zebra nib and play around with them. And they're great pens. I still use them occasionally nowadays. So up next, guys, I'm going to ink up this pen, and then we will do a writing sample with it. All right, guys, I'm back real quick, and I was going to do a quick sizing comparison just for the sake of doing one. So there, your Knox Aristotle is against a Pilot Metropolitan. So roughly about the same size. The Knox is a little bit longer and maybe a little bit girthier. And then here we've got our Lamy Safari. So again, not as small as it seems. Again, just for me, I don't know why in person it seems smaller. And I know this is not a review of the ink, but I did kind of want to show that ink. It's just a really, really cool purple. If you guys... I'm getting ready to write with this. I've not written with the pen yet, so you guys are going to be seeing it writing for the first time. So I'm excited to see what the ink is going to look like. And real quick, I'm going to grab my book, and we're just going to do this all live. I'm not going to pause the camera or anything. And I will zoom in a little bit so we can see that ink better. All right. So, as I said before, this is the Knox Aristotle. And oh my goodness, this thing is a gusher. And it's I can already tell. I mean, this is going to be a fun pen to play around with, and I really like this purple ink. I'm not a huge fan of purple, but I think this ink is really, really cool. Again, this is the Birmingham ink, and it is the Andy Warhol purple. And as you can tell, I mean, this pen just gushes ink, and I don't know if it's, there's no bleed through on the other side. I mean, this Clairefontaine paper, it does a good job of not showing bleed through. All right, let's do a writing sample now. If you see any of these skips, it's not the pen, it's me and my angle that I'm using. I have to say I'm really impressed. The nib works very well. It's nice fat line, and I'm actually kind of surprised. Now it's not springy or anything, but or it's not a flex nib by any means whatsoever, but it doesn't feel as hard as your normal steel nibs. It's kind of like some of the well, it's hard to explain. It doesn't feel as stiff as some of your other steel nibs. Now, I granted it's laying down a ton of ink. Do a quick wetness test real quick. I mean, it's this is, again, I'm impressed. This is a really cool nib. I really like the ink. If you are somebody that likes purple ink, you know, here you can tell it is a really, really nice shade of purple. This is going to be a fun nib, a fun pen to play around with, and it works very well. So again, pretty impressed with this thing so far. So I don't know, this actually could be a daily writer. So for me, I really like the pen. As far as anything that I don't like as much, I wish it posted a little bit better, you know, but I think for me, at least, my hand size, it's fine. It doesn't really bother me that much. This review wasn't necessarily to review this ink, but I think this ink is really cool. For, I think it was under $8, like $7.98, give or take. But under $8, you get this bottle of ink. It's a 30 ml bottle. So for less than what I pay for a bottle of Iroshizuku ink, and I'm not trying to compare the inks necessarily, I got 2 bottles of ink. So I think that's another really cool thing. It got here really fast. I got updates on my email as the package was shipped, as it was getting close when it was out for delivery. So that was another really cool thing. So again, guys, check out Birmingham Pen Company. Check out some of these Knox pens. They have some, the Knox Galileo. They have this one, the Aristotle. I might actually go and get another one, so, and to play around with, maybe one with a medium nib or something. So again, guys, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, comment down below if you have tried out this ink. Tell us what you think, or if you tried out some other Birmingham inks, or even some of the other Knox pens. Let us know what you think about yours, what type of nib you have in it, maybe, different things like that. Hope you guys have a great day, and I shall talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.